Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope I'm audible. So I'm Dalia Ishtiaq, Managing Director, KTrade Securities Limited. I have with me today esteemed members of the management of Mari Petroleum, Mr. Fahim Haider, CEO, Mari Petroleum, and Mr. Nabil Rashid, CFO, Mari Petroleum. On behalf of Mari Petroleum and KTrade, I would like to welcome you all to the corporate briefing session for the 9-month period of financial year 2023. Is it better now?
Yeah.
So we will start the proceeding with the recitation of the Holy Quran. For this, I would request Mr. Mohsen Reza kindly come on stage.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي صدق الله العظيم.
So there's a small announcement for those who are attending the session in person. Please note there is no HSE drill planned for the day. So if you hear an alarm, please treat it as real and evacuate the building in an orderly manner. The company's staff will be present to assist and guide you during the evacuation. So just to set the protocols of the session, there will be a separate Q&A after the presentation. You all are requested to kindly raise your queries through the chat box. My colleague, Ms. Aisha Fayaz, will present your queries to the management. For our esteemed stakeholders who are present here today, I would request you to kindly raise your hands so we can facilitate you with a mic. Now, I would request Mr. Fahim Haider, CEO, Mari Petroleum, to kindly say a few words.
Thank you, Nadia. I'm pleased to welcome you all for this corporate briefing sessions. This is the second session for the financial year, and primarily it will cover the performance of the first 9 months of the financial year, which was ended March 31st, 2023. We'll also share some recent developments after the period. From our stock filings, you would have learned that we were able to maintain the performance trajectory of the previous 2 quarters and close the 9 months period on a stronger note. As a leading energy explorer and producer in the country, our focus is on creating and delivering unmatched value for our shareholders. Mr. Nabil Rashid, our CFO, will brief you on company's financial and operational performance. Thereafter, you will have the opportunity to ask the questions. Our senior management team is also here to respond to any queries you may have. I'm looking forward to a proactive session. And also thank you all for joining us today. Over to you, Nabil.
Good morning. Welcome to the corporate briefing. As Isab has mentioned, it's the second briefing for the year. A disclaimer: all the things that we discuss are forward-looking, and it is the management's present expectation of the future events, and are subject to a number of factors and uncertainties that could cause actual results to be different materially from those that we are showing here. It should not be relied upon for making investment or other decisions, as the statement speaks only for the date that we are made. So Going forward, the presentation is distributed into various parts: the company overview, key highlights, financial update, operational update, award and recognition, industry challenges, and the road ahead. On the company overview, who we are the second largest E&P company in Pakistan. We have been showing consistent year-on-year growth in the net sales. We have diverse operational expertise that include obviously the E&P, core E&P, and also related services. We have a portfolio of 33 blocks, which have 13 E&P leases included. This also includes our international presence in Abu Dhabi, Block 5. Madi field provides gas to that results in 90% of the urea production in Pakistan, so ensuring the security. We are one of the largest taxpayers in Pakistan. By producing hydrocarbons, we actually save foreign exchange worth almost $3 billion for Pakistan by doing LNG substitution. We also provide gas to power sector that helps to meet the country's energy needs. The shareholding is basically we have 40% for the foundation, 20% government of Pakistan, 20% OGDCL, and 20% is listed on the stock exchange and is with the general public. Our board of directors, we have a very diverse board of directors that range from different fields across, from accounting to E&P sector to regulators to independent directors as well that we have. We have a very diverse management team, which has experience of international operations from various countries and also local and abroad. Our footprint, so our total concession area is around 65,865 square kilometer. We are operators in 17 blocks. We operate 7 development and production leases. We have 16 non-operated blocks and 6 DNP leases as non-operator. If you see the map, we are spread all across, and the small map on the left shows Block 5 in Abu Dhabi. As I mentioned, that we are an E&P company with a services division as well. So Mari Services Division, which is an in-house arm, provide us the capability to do work ourselves. So we have seismic units. We have a state-of-the-art mud-locking unit. We have 5 rigs. We have a processing center. We have added the gravity magnetic units in our portfolio as well. All of these provide us the flexibility to work more and also to save foreign exchange, because otherwise these services would be taken from foreign companies. We have also started providing the seismic acquisition services to third parties as well. Our partners, which are quite diverse, and our customers that range from fertilizer to power sector and to refineries. On the key highlights, HSC is the core foundation for our operations, and the commitment from the management is that everybody should go home safe. So what we have inculcated into the culture, and we have a scorecard that measures our HSC performance, which is better than what the international standards are. So if you see the lost time injury, total reportable incidences, process safety, we have separate KPIs for everyone. Our internal targets are lower than that of the international benchmark, and we achieve even better results. One of the major achievements for us is the commissioning of the Sachal gas processing complex that has been completed. We are selling around 100 MMCFD of gas, and gas is being supplied to the national grid through our own 20-inch pipeline. Just to show you a glimpse of the production from 2017-18 till now. So we have constantly been increasing on the production. There is a dip, but that is for exogenous factors which were beyond our control. Flooding and some ATAs in the fertilizer customers. The latest highest production ever achieved by Madi was on 15th of April, where the gas sales were 876 MMCFD and net sales were around 117 per day. Another milestone that we have achieved is that we had the discovery in Waziristan block. So we have signed the gas processing agreement for bringing on that gas on early production with Orient Petroleum on the 12th of April. The first gas is expected in 7 months, so obviously subject to conducive security environment availability. Another milestone that we got was the Aziz discovery, which was the well was inside the Mari field. The well was spud on in November and was finished in December. It is providing gas of the pressure are 5.1 mm SCFD. This is a very significant success because not only does it provide a new play in Mari field, but has also opened it in other fields as well. We plan to appraise and develop this resource in the coming years. Our exploration portfolio, as I mentioned, we have 33 blocks, so 4 out of them were signed in October. Were awarded in October and have recently been signed. This shows the growth of the portfolio that we have in terms of blocks. So out of the 33 blocks, 15 blocks have been acquired in the last 2 years. That shows the commitment of the company to it. Financial updates. So the net sales increased by around 46% as compared to the same period of last year, which is around 99 billion rupees. Profit in a similar ratio to 40 billion. EPS similar to 302 rupees per share. Our net assets have increased by 152 billion. And the share price has gone down by 14.5%, but the BSX has also declined by 11%. Just to say, it's again the highest ever net sales and net profit. Our total assets are 217 billion. We have a market cap of around 202 billion, and we are the 3rd highest in terms of market cap on the Pakistan Stock Exchange. Dividends, as you all know, we since 2020-21 we have been paying out dividends. So the interim dividend paid till now is 89 rupees per share. Operational updates. So we have a block in Waziristan which is called Wali West. The gravity magnetic and the seismic data acquisition is ongoing there. Then there is a block in the block is Nareli, where data acquisition has commenced. So there's an update on this slide during the time. On the exploratory well, we have Speen, which is being drilled. Mewan, the rig up is done. Then on the Waziristan block, as you mentioned last time also, so we've got quite some activities there, but then all the activities are again dependent on the security environment that we find there. So Shiva 2 appraisal well, the rig up is complete. We plan to do Spinworm 1, which is a second exploratory well, and Spinworm East, another appraisal well soon after. On the CSR side, we've got we are very much focused on CSR and we do a lot of activities there. The areas or the thematic areas where we work are health and inclusive education, clean drinking water and sanitization, climate actions, sustainable livelihood interventions, women empowerment, economic relief, and zero hunger and skill development. In the last 5 years, we have spent around 8 billion. And only in the 9 months, we have spent around 1.4 billion. That includes obligatory CSR and over and above what we do. Here are some of the high impact projects that we have done, which are plantation drives, providing loans to let's say, small businesses, Roshan Ahead, which is a solarization initiative, women empowerment, skill development workshops, and also during the flood, our team worked a lot to provide relief. Awards and recognitions, I think you must have seen for all the activities that we do in terms of our say corporate governance, in terms of CSR, in terms of technical side, in terms of sports. We have won various awards during the 9 months. Industry challenges. I was discussing with somebody and said this slide is is probably there are two ways of looking at it. It's very heavy and it is very light. So the issues there are big. So circular debt is one of the major issues that we have in the industry. Everybody knows about it. So we are trying to work with the stakeholders in order to manage it to the best of our abilities. As I mentioned, Waziristan block, US block, and there are other areas where we work where there are obviously security challenges. We are working with the LEAs in order to work in a safe and secure environment. We are trying to mitigate them as much as possible. Supply chain disruptions, obviously the world has gone through post-COVID. There have been supply chain disruptions both in terms of manufacturing of equipment and also in terms of transportation. We are proactively working to ensure that all the goods that we need are available on time so that it does not affect our operations. But obviously these challenges are not only for MPCL, but for everyone operating not only in Pakistan, but abroad as well. Foreign exchange, obviously, there is limited amount of foreign exchange available in the country, so that also poses a constraint on us. Again, we are working with the regulators to make sure that projects of national importance are adhered to, so that by having more discovery and producing more gas, we are able to substitute import of LNG. A road ahead, in some you like to take this.
You can.
So the road ahead, on the road ahead, as I mentioned, we have signed the contract for the early production facility in Waziristan. So one of our aim is to have safe installation and startup of that facility. SNGPL is laying the pipeline, so that will put in obviously more gas into the network that will assist the country. I mentioned about the wells in Waziristan. We are doing the 2 exploration wells in Balochistan, which is Peen and Mewan, which are ongoing. I've mentioned about the Wazir discovery, so appraisal and development activities are being planned and ongoing. On the Mari revitalization, as you mentioned last time, so we had drilled the first horizontal well. Now we are drilling another horizontal well, obviously. Then the nodal compression project is also ongoing. That would ensure that the gas supply to the fertilizer customers is sustained. We have the seismic acquisition going on in Nareli and Wali West. As I mentioned, we have new blocks, so exploratory activities are ongoing on these blocks. And diversification, so we are looking into mineral mining. That is something that we have been looking into, and we already also have the approval to form a company that will be dedicated to look on the site. A word of thanks. So we are really grateful to the federal and provincial government, to the regulatory authorities, to all our stakeholders, law enforcement agencies, civil administration, board of directors, and shareholders, obviously, who have been supportive of our operations and have guided us and have provided assistance whenever we require it. Thank you very much.
Floor is now open for questions. Aida, can you please present the queries to management?
Sure, Nadia, thank you. So I've received a couple of questions. The first one is from Mr. Asim Yusuf. He's asking that recently we've seen in the PPIS weekly number that Mari field is producing in the range of 900 to 940 mmCFD. Is that the plateau, and how long we expect this number to sustain?
I mean, this is the production number that we have for now. Obviously, we are working to add the capacities. And again, it is dependent on various factors, which include obviously the availability by the off-takers to take the gas.
Okay. The next question is that after 150 mmCFD addition from the GTH project, how much of the gas volumes are sold at base price and under PP12?
Aisha? Internet is installed.
Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. So should I proceed to the next question, Nadia?
Go ahead, Aisha.
So the next question is, after 150 MMCFD addition from the GTH project, how much of the gas volumes are sold at base price and under PP12?
So from a raw gas perspective, 110 MMCFD is at the base price, and anything over and above that is at incremental price.
The next question is, what proportion of Mari gas in terms of volume and value is currently being injected into SNGP network?
Listen, sir.
So all the 100 million gas from SGPC is injected into SNGPL network. And unutilized gas from the fertilizer customers, which is in the range of 45 to 65 million, is also injected into the SNGPL network once it is available.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is that what are your CAPEX estimates for fiscal year 24 and fiscal year 25?
We are currently finalizing our budgets and work programs for the next couple of years. So we cannot give a clear answer to this question at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. So the next question is directed to Mr. Fahim Saab. The question is that the trade receivables of the company are on a steady rise for the past 20 quarters. Mainly SNGPL receivables are growing persistently. And since your supplies to SNGPL are also increasing with steady growth in gas production, it looks like the trend will continue. Please tell us what is the recovery rate of the billed amount on gas supplied in the SNG network for the last few quarters, and how is the company ensuring that Mari will not face the sort of liquidity challenges that OGDC and PPL are currently facing?
And a few more changes are also on the way on the gas pricing for the consumers, which should help reducing the buildup of circular debt going forwards.
Okay, the next question is that we've heard from other oil and gas companies that import restrictions have hampered their operation in terms of equipment and chemicals. Has it affected Mari in any way so far?
So far, no. But if the restrictions continue, eventually everybody is going to be impacted because of the availability of the forex and the import restrictions.
Okay, thank you. The next question is from Asif Jalal from Maple Leaf Capital. He's asking, what is the update on SGPC turnover and why was the turnaround planned so early considering the plant just came online in January?
Couldn't understand the question.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Yes, sure. What is the update on SGPC turnover? And why was the turnaround planned so early, considering the plant just came online in January?
Right. Because of the mild weather and the availability of LNG in the SNGPL network, we were asked to cut our supplies by the government. So we just took that opportunity to complete some of the work which planned in the future, taking the opportunity which was available to us. But the restriction on capacity in the SNGPL network was the main reason for the shutdown.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. So the next question is, what is the breakup of volume sold? That is, what proportion comes from HRL, TIPU, and SGPC? And what is the ratio of uncompressed to compressed gas in SGPC?
Right. All the gas which is produced through SGPC is currently not compressed. Tipu's production is around 20 million, raw production is 20 million, the rest is from Guru B. HRL production capacity is around 640 million, but the sales volume depend on how much gas the fertilizer customers are drawing and how much gas is being put into the SNGPL system.
Aisha, we have a couple of questions from our stakeholders here as well. We would like to take that now.
Okay, sure.
Mix kar lete hain.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Hassan Azam. I am one of your individual shareholders. And thank you very much for having this corporate briefing session based on your quarterly results. Really remarkable. Good gesture on the part of the company that they are holding their corporate briefing session on a quarterly basis. It was really heartening to see the results of the company because we have made 40 billion after tax profit, which is a record high in the history of IPC. But there is a little observation here because you have not been able to achieve this much of profitability and the sales because of the volumes. This is all because of the escalating prices of the gas and the international market, which are reflecting in your books as well. I am hopeful that going forward, by virtue of having so many initiatives that you have taken already, and you are working on that, you will be able to put in some, I mean to say, meaningful performance based on the volumes as well. Now, my first question is, if you want to like to...
Yeah, I would like to comment on that, actually. I think what you need to understand that we have built the capability of the sowing volume where we are able to inject undrawn volumes of up to 65 million in the system of SNGPL. Additionally, the 100 million being produced from SGPC is also the new volume available. Now, it's a bit unfair to say that the profits are driven by the price and the exchange rate. We understand that, but today, company has 25% higher production capacity it used to have 3 years ago. And if these new volumes were not being available for us, given the shutdowns we had from the fertilizer industry, given the unplanned shutdowns we had from the fertilizer industry, and the commercial decision we made not to supply gas to Genco because of circular debt, we would not have been able to have the profitability which you are seeing today. So that needs to be understood very clearly, I think.
Thank you very much for giving the reply, but fact of the matter is that according to your own book that you have published in the 9 months result, there is a 4% decrease in your volume. And this is all because, again, I would like to stress on that this is not because of the volumes, this is because of the price. But anyhow, just forget about it. I would like to have some comments about you regarding your visit target. Last year when we came here, you were very optimistic that in the next 12 months the pipeline will be laid by SNGPL. And at that time as well, I have given you my reservations about that, because SNGPL is one institution which cannot be relied on based on their past track record. I would like you to please now give us the update on that project and how long it will be completed. Because of the various security reasons, it is going to be delayed according to best of my understanding. And today morning also we have heard this news. Yesterday evening we have heard this news that the moon installations in Hangu have been attacked. 6 people were died over there. So this is a very precarious situation so far as the oil and gas companies are concerned. So are you still optimistic that in how much time period you will be able to make that project operation, which is of vital importance to the company and the whole country as well.
You are absolutely right. I mean, the security situation is, deteriorating over time. Even once we gave our estimates last time, we clearly said that, everything is dependent on a conducive security environment. So our target is to bring this gas on production in the 7 months. SNGPL has completed majority of the pipeline. It's just the portion from our well into the Waziristan district, which is currently, it has started, but the progress is slow for the reasons. I mean, for us, what is important is to ensure that, safety of our people is not compromised. We will not take any risk, given the current security environment, to continue our operations unless we are sure that we have done whatever is reasonably possible to protect our people. And we are in very close contact with the law enforcement agencies, the sponsors, and working with them very, very closely to ensure that we keep our people safe. Last 2-3 years, we have spent over 2 billion rupees on ensuring security of our operations. So it is a serious issue. You mentioned them well, yes. I mean, we also had an incident a few months ago. I mean, we had 16 people injured. One of our person lost his life. So it is a difficult operating environment as a whole, in not only in Waziristan or KP, but also in Balochistan.
Thank you very much for giving a detailed reply this time as well. Moving on, I would like to have a question on the Abu Dhabi operations, because there is no mention, there is no timelines given in the 9 months results. So I would like you to please tell us something about the project and its current status, and how long it will be, how much time it will be taking for the drilling of the first well.
The tendering exercise is ongoing to secure the rig for the first well. So we are hoping to spud the well sometime this year, depending on the rig availability. Abu Dhabi market is very, very hot, and finding the offshore rig in the current environment on a reasonable price is also challenging, but we are hopeful that we should be able to start the well after summer, inshallah, if the current tendering process is successful.
Last 2 questions. First, this is regarding the receivables of the company, because as of date, you have about 37 billion rupees in the shape of overdue receivables, where the company's loss is making incoming losses, because this is sapping your liquidity. If this much liquidity is available to you, can make a lot of money by putting this in the bank deposit or in the government papers. So going forward, you have already replied to some extent to this question. But my question is that why don't you have a covenant in the receivables? Because if the company is not making the payment, SNDPL is unable to make the payment, like IPPs who are having overdue surcharge, why don't you have this kind of surcharge as well to conserve your liquidity and the payouts to your shareholders? Second question, which is my last question, is that you have formed a company for the mining purposes as well, but you are having a wonderful opportunity 6 months back when the Decorative project was revitalized by the government of Pakistan. Your company is cash-rich company, and you could have made some efforts to be a part of that joint venture, which is holding very bright prospects going forward. And it would have been a wonderful opportunity for you as well to diversify. Thank you very much for listening to this opportunity.
Right. I can maybe answer your second question first. We looked at record date. We worked on it very closely with the sponsors. But at the end, the project was, very high capex, and the payback from the project was, quite long in time. So it did not fit our strategy. We have an interest in mining in the long term. I mean, right now we have enough on our plate with 33 exploration licenses, but we want to look at specific precious metal mining and enter into a bigger scale to learn how to conduct mining and how to build a portfolio. So that's why we have started this new company, and we are looking at different projects at the moment. Sorry, what was your first question? Receivable issue, is a very complex matter. I mean, we are very aware of the challenge we are facing. And as I said, we have stopped selling gas to Genco, and hopefully we can get the principals back. I mean, surcharge is something on top of it. So I mean, that's a serious issue. We are working very closely to the ministry on this, and we have been assured that sooner or later there is going to be a solution to this problem. Otherwise, I don't want to put this money in the bank. With this 37 billion, I can drill 5 Rajasthan type wells, and that's what we have told the ministry and the board, and we all are working to find solution to this challenge. There is no real visibility how and when the situation is going to get better. This is why we are disclosing it as a key risk to the business. If we do not have cash, we would probably have to invest less in our E&P business. But certainly, given the current environment, everybody is suffering because of this challenge. If you have any bright ideas, share with us.
The only silver lining is this, that you are so much committed that you want to put this extra money for the exploration activities. And as a shareholder and as a citizen of Pakistan, I'm really proud to be a member of this company, which is committed to have exploration activities expedited in the communities, which is of vital importance for the country, for the company, and for all the stakeholders. Thank you very much, and I'm very happy to listen to you.
Thank you.
Waiting room में हम कुछ Johnson.
We don't have any questions.
Yeah.
Dr. Saab has not started.
All our stakeholders, really appreciate that. But since we're short on time, we would request everyone, to keep the questions to 1 or 2.
You can't make the request to Dr. Saab.
Yeah, Aisha?
Exemptions are always.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'll proceed with the questions on the chat box. So there's a question related to the production of GTH, that initially GTH, now SGPC, was expected to process 280 mmCFD of uncompressed gas into 150 mmCFD compressed gas. But now in the presentation, it says that 100 mmCFD is going to be compressed gas. What happened to the remaining 50 mmCFD? Can you please guide?
Hassan,
yes, thank you. You are very right in pointing out this thing, but the fact is that MD Saab and CFO has already explained that there are 2 streams of gas going into Sullivan system. One is from SGBC, that is about 110 mmCFD by processing 240. The exact sale is little less, but it will achieve the 110. And then there's the other part, because the reason for the change of name is because initially it was GTH and H was for HRL. So HRL is going to Suriname with a swing volume, which MD Saab has explained, that about 45 to 65, depending on the availability of volumes from other customers, that is being supplied to Suriname. So the volume in total remains in the same range.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. What kind of outlook can you provide in terms of average daily gas production going into fiscal year 24? Can we expect production to average around 900 mmCFD? Since bulk of the production will still be coming from Mari field, how much of the total production will attract PP12 policy?
So in terms of total volume, yes, you're right. But again, the exact volume depends on the offtake by various customers because last year, here has been pointed out that production was lesser as compared to the previous similar 9 months. The main reason was the less offtake by the fertilizer customers. There were some emergency shutdowns on their part. So the production capacity, of course, is above 900. And actual sale volume will depend on the actual offtake by the customers. And in terms of the distribution between the PP 2012 and the base volumes, this again depends. For example, like our HRL reservoir, that the initial 525 MMCOD from that reservoir is entitled to the base price, and whatever produced over and above, that's up to 640. So that is entitled to 2012. And likewise in SGPC, the raw volumes, I'm talking about raw volumes, 110 MMCOD of the raw is entitled to the base price, and whatever we produce over and above is entitled to 2012. So it's very complicated because once we process that gas, the actual number comes different, and we are also selling some raw gas to from the Gorubi reservoir. So it's a little bit complicated. But I think
great.
I answered the question.
Yeah. So the next question is, can you please give the breakup of the sales production for the month of April, specifying the contribution from Gorubi, Deep, and Tipu separately?
I mean, we're talking of the March financials, so given an April number right now is probably not, it's not something we want to answer now.
Okay, great. So the next question is that the government hasn't increased feed and fuel gas prices for the fertilizer sector on Mari's network. Please share any update on this and how companies accounting for the pricing difference, as conventional field pricing is $2.8 per MMBTU, whereas feed rate is 302 rupees per MMBTU.
So you're right. The government has not increased the prices for quite some time for the fertilizer sector. But as far as we are concerned, because we are selling gas to different categories of consumers, like for fuel stock, it is 1,000 and 1,023 rupees. For feed, it is 302. So what we do, we basically cross-subsidize from within the sector. So yes, we are pursuing with government, and you may have read in the newspapers, the government has already constituted a high-powered committee constituting 3 ministers and the secretaries from the federal government, and they are deliberating, and we are hoping that a decision will be made very soon.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is from Mr. Abdullah Umar from NBP Funds. He's asking, what will be the share of Mari's capex in pressure enhancement facility for the fertilizer sector? Please share current progress and expected time of completion.
So I think we have made a disclosure in the stock exchange. The entire cost is to be borne by the fertilizer customers. We are just basically implementing the project to facilitate it. We are not incurring any cost on that.
Okay. Can you also please share the estimated reserve size of Banu West?
I mean, as we mentioned on Waziristan block, appraisal activities have to be carried out before the final determination is made.
Okay. The next question is from Mr. Muhammad Fazil from MCB Arif Habib. He's asking, could we expect any further increase of production from SGPC?
Yes, we can, but we cannot commit to it for now. I mean, the Razish discovery which we have made, we are going to be doing some appraisal of that discovery, and if the appraisal is successful, the plant has the capacity to further increase the production.
Okay, and can you please also update on the third phase of SGPC, and when will that be completed?
Actually, I mean, initially we said 3 phases, but the third phase was actually the first one completed, which was the HRL.
It's already done 2 years ago.
That was done 2 years ago. So initially what was phase 3 was done before, and then phase 1 and 2.
Okay, so the next question is, what in your opinion is the average consumer gas price hike that needs to be made, which will arrest the buildup of circular debt for Mari?
So for us, the increase in gas price is also important, but as of now, it is a matter of receiving the amounts from the customers. Increase in price in one part, but the other part, the receivables part, which you are seeing in the accounts, is basically collecting the gas, which is we have sold it at the notified price. So there are two challenges. One is the increase in price, and the other is actually recovering the revenues from the buyers. So, but it depends on the government decision that how much they increase.
Okay, great. Over to you, Nadia. There are no more questions on the chat box. Thank you.
Nini, sir, please.
Mr. Karim had Mr. Nadeed, very great pleasure to be a 3QFY23 accelerator whenever I come to this meeting. Now, my euphoria and exhilaration is not because of this seeing the three smiling faces in front of me. It is because of when I read the equity profile of the company, it's 202 billion, 496 billion to 397,830. That's what makes me euphoric about the company. Coming to the shares is 133 million for 2,500. That's also very quantifying, exemplifying, and satisfying. And then your free float is only 20%. It's a well-managed company, and shareholders have put in a lot of faith and I should say dependence on this company. So now enough for the accolades which I've given to Mr. Karim. Some of my questions have already been thrashed in detail by the predecessors who are already there asking questions. Now, what I would like to really ask you, Mr. Karim, is that despite the severe challenges, the SWOT analysis that Mr. Nabil gave here, the challenges faced by you, of course, the first and foremost challenge is the security problems where you encountered in all the three products in KTrade, Balochistan, and also in the FATA areas. That's a very severe challenge. And then is the dollarization of the country. And of course, there is the increase in the shipment charges and the trade charges. Now, all these things are adding to the impediments in your vertical growth. Now, my question to you, sir, Mr. Karim, how are you able to keep your head above the water?
Right. So you see, I mean, these challenges are there, but at the same time, if we get distracted by all of these challenges and lose focus, we cannot continue and sustain our business. So our priority is to maximize our production, which we are doing by the investment we had made in the swing volume and SGBC. So we are very hopeful that that production should not be impacted too severely by what is going on, at least in the short term. Waziristan block is a very, very strategic block. We are going to continue our operations there with the aim to bring the first well on stream and drill the second well, for which rig is already on site. In Balochistan, we have started rig up in block 28, which is a long-awaited block. This block was with Tullow, and it was more or less 20 years. There has not been any activity. So we have full support from our sponsors. We are spending a significant amount of money. I think the last 5-6 years we have spent around 6 to 8 billion rupees on provision of security. So we are not distracted by what is happening, and our shareholders, our sponsors are fully committed to continue the activity because we think all these projects are of strategic national importance.
For example, if I can keep you on the same page of Waziristan, in your previous narrative, what you said, that SNL has laid their part of the pipeline and only a small portion left from your production that of Waziristan district. Can you tell me in 2 questions here? How much is the distance to be covered in
60 kilometers.
60 kilometers? And when do you envisage you will be able to put this 12 inches pipeline? I think last time you told me.
It's 18.
18 inches. And when will be able to complete this?
I mean, our aim is to complete the pipeline and plant at the same time in the next 6-7 months. So there is, they have started laying the pipe, and we are actually, the Ministry of Petroleum is monitoring the progress on weekly basis together with us and provide them the support which is needed to complete this.
If I remember last time when this discovery was made by you, you said this, you will be adding about 4 to 4.5% to the national requirement of the gas. Do you think this figure may go up a bit?
No, this figure was given for the SGPC production. So this is roughly, the production from Banu of Waziristan will be almost half of that. But you can say it's 2 to 3% increase in the national production.
I see. So something very remarkable about your financial, which I can discuss with Mr. Nabil is your. I mean, the performance which you have given is 40 billion, which you have closed at 9 months and the EPS of 3.2. That's really remarkable as compared to your previous performance. Another 2 months more are left for your June closing. So I know, as Mr. Nabil will rightly say, that these figures are up to March 2023. But I, as a financial analyst, would like to place on record. I think that the EPS which you have given here is 3.2, may go even above 3.50, but it's all the record that I know. You will not be able to comment on that. But I am very sanguine that the company is going to break the previous record of even the highest rate last year. Nabil sir, coming back to your book value, how much is your book value right now?
So the book value that we would have would be around $1 billion. 1 point. You're talking in number of shares or?
Yeah, book value.
Per share would be around 1,140.
I see. This is calculated to 30th of March. My calculation is 1016.58. And the enterprise value.
The enterprise value should be around 1,270.
1379 is my calculation.
We'll check it.
Okay. And the beta value was 59. Sir, if you can give me another update on your international performance with Mr. Azam also asked you about Abu Dhabi. You said tendering processes in place and other things are in place. How much time before we have the rig installed in that place in ADNOC?
Depends on the outcome of the tender. When do we get the slot? What happens on the offshore rigs? There are various users, and you have to fit your one well slot into the program of others. So we will see. I mean, there is a board meeting in June where we will get more updates from the operator.
Are you in the lead role here in ADNOC or no? I mean,
PPL is the operators.
I see.
We are part of the board of PIOL.
I see. About all the commitments you are having, keeping ahead of the water, the security, the dollarization of money, the international prices, the delay in the trade, the freight increase. What is the most thing bugging you, sir, right now, as we are, future progress of the company?
Security.
Yes, I would like to share that. That is the greatest moment. I think it's confronted with them. Last of all, let me again place on record my appreciation and my accolades to you, sir, your team members and all the people that it's a great pleasure to be here, to be a part of this great corporate venture. We are all proud to be the shareholders of our Petroleum company. Thank you very much, sir. I rest my questions.
Thank you.
My question to Mr. Devi is here. You mentioned about the horizontal drilling in one of the concession areas and it was successful. So can you just indicate how much is the percentage or how much was the volume that you get some company will get additional revenue in terms of horizontal drilling? And secondly, you mentioned about the 389 per share was paid as dividend by the company. So it was 50% of the profit. So I think it was 50% of the EPS. So going forward, we should expect the same pattern, the 50%.
We cannot comment on that. But your first question, if you allow me to answer, rather than Nabil, I mean, the horizontal drilling we are doing is in HRL reservoir. And the purpose is to sustain the plateau. It's not to increase production, it's to sustain the plateau and enhance the recovery of the reservoir. So that's the main objective of the horizontal drilling.
Regarding the future dividend, you have been very diplomatic and you didn't answer that. But from the viewpoint of a shareholder, I would like to share with you here. Loving है दिल के पास रहे पास वाने आगला लेकिन कभी कभी इसे तन्हा भी छोड़ दे अगर इंडिया पर खूबसूरत सी बात बता दें 150% 100% डिविडेंड दे देंगे तो कोई बात नहीं है कुछ लोग चले जाएंगे लोग पहली बड़ी धक्के में बहुत frustrated and depressed.
I think to make one thing which has not come out very well from the discussion today and the Q&A, I think the Gazij discovery which we have made in the Mari field after 2005. This is really something which is a pleasant surprise for the management. It is spread over quite a large area, and we expect it will help sustaining our production, for many years to come. We are going to be appraising that discovery. And not only that, after we have tested this play, OGDCL and PPL, all of them are now targeting the similar plays in their fields. For example, PPL is targeting something similar in the Sui field. So I think what is important to understand that, Waziristan, we extended the play towards the west. Mari, we have opened a new play. Block 28, we are very hopeful, what will happen. I mean, share price, dividend, these are maybe, short-term things, but I think our focus is to be more interested sustaining the longer-term future of the company and the shareholders. And that's really where our focus is. I mean, shareholders can have a lot of dividend, but then you get it converted into dollars after a few months, and you may get even more depressed. So for me, that is not what is driving at least this management team.
The question about when I asked for the different, I was just, not concerned so much because the first time when I purchased the share market petroleum, it was around rupees 40 per share. And then second time when I was purchased, and it was quite, I think 45 rupees. And that time company used to pay 30 to 45% maximum. So I had more faith in the company, not so much, very much concerned about the dividend as such, in terms of return. More than 30 years ago, I invested in the company. Thank you.
You should have retired by now.
Thank you very much.
I like a little bit, first of all, of board of मेरे ख्याल में मैं भी एक फहीम साहब की तरफ से ये शेर पढ़ रहा हूँ और वे फहीम साहब जो ये शेर है ना वो हमको भी सुना रहे हैं और वो टीपू रोड को भी सुना और समझने वाले समझ कहते ये फहीम साहब आपकी तरफ से है और आपकी नजर भी है और सबकी नजर है कहते हैं मत पूछो मेरे कारोबार का आलम मत पूछो मेरे कारोबार का आलम आईना बेचता हूँ अंधों के शहर में
Very nice.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर
I'll take a strong exception over here, sir. ये कम से कम आपके मुंह से अच्छा मुझे।
We have not discussed this. ये डॉक्टर साहब ने अभी create किया है.
Thank you. Vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, everyone. As much as I also would like to, share with you all. मुझे इतनी knowledge नहीं है. But on this note, we like to conclude the session for today. Thank you to all our stakeholders who have shown interest in the company's performance, which is demonstrated by your attendance and set of questions. Thank you.